MMA Island here, and at this moment, I am joined by the one and only Sanford's very own Impa Kasanganay.
My man, how are you, bro?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for having me on.
Cool. Thank you so much for joining me. So, Impa, let's waste no time here. Just about a week ago from today, it was made known to the public that the UFC, which has been your home for the last year, has ultimately made the decision to part ways with you. I know this is a huge shock to me and the MMA community at large. And so I can only imagine kind of what you're thinking, what you and your team are thinking. Could you tell me, how and when you received this news?
Yeah, about a week ago. It's all good though. I mean, my team and I guys move forward, keep fighting, man. It's nothing too crazy. Let's see. So kind of just waiting for a while, after my last fight, no news on being cut, no news on signing a second contract or another fight coming up, right? And we thought it'd be about time, and I was healthy, I was fine. I was it was, I was good. So we were just talking with Sean Shelby and the guys and back and forth my agent, and never really got any news back. It was kind of like we're just there waiting. So there was no news about a fight. And then they said they couldn't re-sign me at the time last Friday. And I was like, okay, cool. And then, but to be ready for a short notice or something. I was like, well, I mean, I'd rather fight. So I just decided to look, other places like PFL, Bellator, focus on just getting better, right? I'll be pretty active and looking forward to before signing with another major organization. I'm just staying active, man. Grappling tournaments, kickboxing, boxing, whatever, but just really focusing on improving my skill. And that's the only thing. We just said it's a new beginning, and I'm grateful. I've been fighting or training that long, so to be able to fight in the UFC and do well, have two fights went well and two fights that didn't go my way. I'm looking forward to what's to come, and it's just kind of like a stock, man. Sometimes it gets low, you just gotta invest in it and let it create more value, and then sooner or later be on top, man. I'm grateful for the position God's put me in, and I have great support. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that's been pretty apparent, even just based on your social media presence, is how well you've not just responded to the current situation, but I would say in general, you seem to maintain an extremely positive mindset. And I think I was looking at your Instagram story recently, and you were quoting Epictetus, and it was, it's not, it's not what happens to you, but how you respond to it. And
for sure.
I think that's very much something that you tend to embody, and it seems to be
that, man.
serving you well. So
thank you.
That's an extremely inspiring perspective and attitude that it sounds like you're maintaining. You mentioned in your response that, kind of based on the communication or lack of from the UFC and Sean Shelby and all those guys, that you kind of had some kind of indication that after the Harris fight that perhaps this was an option that they were considering. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, I would say it's an option they're considering. Sorry, my friend, he's playing Call of Duty in the background, but I don't even play. He just has it. But yeah, we were, and I was I'd rather just go fight. And I just wanted to get there, and move forward, man. I don't want to just sit around and wait and talk to my agents. Maybe it's a better option for us just to move forward. And it was mutual. It wasn't anything bad. I love the UFC. Maybe fight down there in the next few years or so. But go become a champion in another organization right now and just get better. I'm grateful. Because, Dana White and them always talk about being active is important. And I know the UFC is awesome, but for me, it's also about being a fighter and being the best. So it's the only way you do that is by continuously fighting. And that was the main thing. It wasn't anything bad. It wasn't nothing against Sean Shelby, nothing against the UFC, nothing against anybody else. It was just let's just move forward. Why sit around here and be grateful for the time that we had in the UFC, the year that we had, and probably be back. Maybe my 30s or whatever. But I don't plan to stop fighting for a good while. I was talking to my friend today. I think I'd fight till I'm about 50, but I don't know, unless my family pulls me away from it. But I love to fight, so I'm not going to stop anytime soon.
Good. I do think that's what many of us were hoping to hear. And
yeah.
And You mentioned being grateful for the year that you had with the UFC, and I'd like to dig into that a little bit, because when you look at the timeline of your career as a professional mixed martial artist, and even just as a mixed martial artist in general, you've only been inside of the sport for about 4 years and competing professionally for a little over 2. And within those 2 years, you found yourself competing at the very pinnacle of the sport. And your debut fight was against a formidable opponent, Maki Patolo. That's not exactly an easy first day in the job. And sure, you went 2-2, but based on what we've seen in the past, that's usually not something that warrants a release for an athlete. And so I think that's why so many people are in shock that the UFC has made the decision that they have, because you had a pretty good run, and you got wins in 2 different weight classes against 2 extremely tough, durable opponents, Maki Patolo and Salasha Palatkanov. And like I said, at the very top of the sport, you were doing well and you're progressing forward, and you've made so much progress just in the few short years that you've been committed to the sport full time. And so I do think it took a lot of people by surprise, but it's encouraging and exciting to hear from my standpoint that you're bouncing back, and you are so adaptable and resilient, which I think is something that we knew. And so now it seems like the mindset is we're grateful for where we've been and the experience that we've accrued, but it's how can we leverage that moving forward? And so, Impa, now that you're a free agent, have you or your management team heard from any of these other major promotions?
Yeah, we're looking into other ones right now. I can't really say yet, but I'm excited for what's to come. But yeah, man, I'm just looking forward to staying active. I'll definitely be active. Whether it's like a regional fight, then signing with a major promotion, which is like, kind of in the works right now. Or which I guess I kind of just told you, but we're working on some things. But yeah, so you'll see soon. We're pretty excited. We're already moving forward. We already have a plan in place, and you'll be back in there throwing the 4-ounce gloves around soon and all the tools. So right now the focus is getting better, man. Like I was talking to Robbie Lawler, just said, hey, and the focus is just only focus right now is to get better, and that's what it is. And I'm in a solid position in my life, and I'm super like, I mean, everybody, shout out to all the UFC staff, Heidi Dean, Charles, all the security team, everybody on the Contender Series. Those are my people, man. I'm just like looking forward, and all my teammates too. Randy Costa fights this weekend, so tune in for him. You saw Rafa, you saw Brendan, you saw Claudio fight last weekend, man. Like all dogs, and they're all just doing well. And I got 3 guys, one last week, but they're all going to keep doing well. So it's just like I'm grateful, man. And like I got a lot of solid teammates who are just doing great, and I'm proud of them. I just hope that they can build their lives. And like the guys who I did fight in the UFC, grateful for them. Just hope they keep doing well, because maybe we'll fight down the road and be awesome to get those fights. And then if not, like it's whatever, man. I'm just excited. But yeah, you'll see soon. I mean, you'll hear some news soon. And it's just right now we're just just trusting God and taking it step by step. But my coaches are super encouraging. Like I love it here at Sanford, probably the best moves of my life, and I'm just looking forward to building with it, man.
That's awesome. So moving forward in this next chapter of your career, do you think you stay at 170 or do you bump back up to middleweight?
No, I stay at 170, man. I feel like it's like a challenge. I like it. It goes well as far as weight cut, and it's challenging for sure, but we're just mastering it. I've been doing really well with like my diet now and just understanding my body at 170. It's like anything that happened during the weight cut. Sorry, I apologize. Is he too loud?
No, you're
okay,
good.
Good. Okay, so I just hear him yelling at the TV. But like for me, it's like Coach Jones said it too. We did tests. We reran tests to see if it was the best move health wise, but we're totally good. Like as far as like my body and my brain and all that stuff. So nothing to worry about there. But it's also a challenge, and I feel like it's how a quote is: if you don't challenge yourself, you don't know yourself. And for me, it's like I want to know myself at the highest level. I want to explore. Whether it's in MMA. Be fun to get into like motorcycle racing would be cool. Like just challenge yourself to do things that people would say, oh, why would you do that? Because you could die. Let's like just live your life and fight and be fearful. Be fearless. Don't be fearful out there. But for me, it's just like I just want to live a full life and fight and travel and become the best at what I do. And none of that is out of the picture. So that's what we're doing. So staying at 170 is part of that challenge, and I love it.
Oh, I love to hear it. So yeah, I think you made some great points there too. It's kind of like, as the quote says, adversity doesn't build character, it reveals it. And it seems like that's something that you've continuously tried to do throughout your career, is put yourself in positions that will, I think, force you to grow. Yes, but also perhaps reveal the best parts of you. And
I appreciate that, man.
yeah, definitely. And you mentioned the bike racing. I've heard you talk about, like, you gave Cowboy Cerrone a shout out at one point when talking about
Cowboy.
this.
What's up, man? What's going on, Cowboy? I know I wanted to fight Daniel, but we're cool now. I'm not in the UFC right now, so you should just invite me out to the ranch. You know, if Cowboy, if you see this, I would love to come out to the ranch, man. I love animals. I love cows. I want to have my own ranch one day. This is my plug. All right. If you didn't talk to me and didn't respond because I wanted to fight Rodriguez, we should be cool now. But let me come out to the ranch, bro. I just want to take some notes. I'd love to build a ranch here in Florida and have a farm. That's what I want to do. So yes, bikes, man. There's so many cool guys out there, like Cosmo Alexandre, work with him some, and he's just a beast, right? And he has people race street bikes. I'm like, what kind of, like, that seems so cool. Why not do that? You know, it's just like, you know, my mom will beat me up for saying this, but I'd love to race bikes. We'll see if my mom beats me by the time she hears this interview. But I mean, it's just so cool, man. Like, living a free life, right? Living a life where you're just taking on each challenge. And then my coach Jason Strout too, at Sanford, he still races dirt bikes just so he can feel what fighters feel before fights. And I respect that, right? And it's just like, you want to compete, you want to dominate at the highest level, and if I'm going to get in something, get in it all the way. And I've been something I'm looking into. So it'd be cool. So Cowboy, my man, hit me up from the Congolese Cowboy over here. I actually have a cowboy hat. I'll pull it out. Those boots.
Right. Yes.
Cowboy.
Let's see it.
Am I good to go? Right? Am I good to go? Shout to Kovas, right? You know what I'm saying? Wait, hold on.
Oh man, those are spiffy.
Come on now.
Those are spiffy.
I did grow up in North Carolina a little bit. Got my Stetson cap, right? Now
there
my head's too big. My head's too big, so I got to return this hat here. But I'm saying a little Stetson, right? Little Stetson, little bam, top of the morning to you. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh. Clean.
But I gotta get a new one because my head's too big, so we're not gonna show that on camera for too long. But yeah, man, it's all good. So Cowboy, what's up? You see, I think I fit the part. Anybody who has a farm and you have some cows or chickens or something, let me know.
There we go. You heard it here, Cowboy. It's all love. Invite this man out to your ranch, the one and only BMF Ranch.
One and only. It's a beautiful ranch, by the way.
Yeah, I'm actually moving to North Carolina soon, and so I tried on my first pair of cowboy boots a couple weekends ago. Asheville, North Carolina.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
man,
for sure.
I grew up in North Carolina, man. That is my home. That's my second home. Well, it is my home, I guess, whatever. But I love it. I love North Carolina. Asheville's beautiful too, man. Beautiful.
I'm really excited for it. It's I visited for the first time in June, and I was completely amazed at how beautiful it was. And
what are you doing out there?
Say that again.
What are you doing out in Asheville?
So actually, the plan is to go go back to school and pursue a degree in, you guessed it, journalism.
Heck yeah! So that I can, UNC Asheville.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I think they do a pretty good program, right? Congratulations, man.
Right. Oh, I appreciate it.
And it's I love that place.
You can be a part of that journey as well, and then hopefully we can get our mutual friend Rich out there for a little bit of a
yeah, my man Rich, man. Rich is the man.
Shout out to Hold Rich Maringo.
There we go. Shout out my guy. There we go, my Congolese brother.
So, but before you make your way out to the BMF ranch, because you have to, maybe limit it to one high risk, dangerous sport at a time. But how soon would you like to get back in the octagon?
Next week.
Next week.
Yeah, man, it's early, probably like January. And it's been a while. It's probably September. Took some time. I was traveling for a while. I was actually in the western part of the United States. I was in Spokane, Washington for the first time. That was beautiful. I had a friend who got married, and then I did some traveling. Stopped in Texas for like literally 2 hours, but it was nice. Got off the plane, saw some people I love, and then I got right back on the plane, and then back in Florida. But man, yeah, I would love to. I think it's about time. January, I'm getting back into. I've been back into training now for a little bit, and it's just like, let's get going. Let's fight. Let's make 22 the best year yet, and just do what we love, man. Like, there's nothing like it. Doesn't matter. It was the UFC, my first amateur fight. when you wrap the hands and you put the gloves on, you're like, and they close that cage, just that whole sequence right there is just wonderful. So hopefully I get in there soon. And yeah, man, love to fight. And then like as far as the octagon, maybe a couple of years, man. Let me just explore, travel, fight. I'm no rush. Like I'm young and I'm loving life, and I love to fight. So it's like let me just stay active, and like whether it's like PFL, Bellator, or just like I love to kickbox as well and do all that stuff like in between, and just let me fight. Let me fight. That's what I do.
For sure. So you mentioned that you are you're healthy, your body feels good right now. Are you actively competing in other competitions such as jiu-jitsu and
Nothing signed
otherwise?
up for yet. I mean, I would like to sign up for the next jiu-jitsu tournament that's here. Talk to Coach Wagner Rocha about that soon. He always encourages it, and then Gilbert Burns encouraged it too. Um, and then I talked to my coach Henry Hoover about kickboxing, and he's all for it in boxing. So like, I mean, I train a good amount in each one, and I go specifically to boxing gym too sometimes with Coach Rubio. So it's like I believe I can do really well. It's just I just want to explore it, man. I don't want to live a life where I'm like fearful of doing well or doing whatever. It's like we'll see like what's option opens up. Of course, MMA is always my main focus, and just want to keep getting better. We're always getting after it at Sanford, and I just love this place. So it's like sometimes you feel like you're in fights, but yeah, hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. Hopefully, January will be a pretty active month, and then we'll see soon after that.
Cool. Kick off the year right.
Mhm.
So before we get into our last couple of questions here, but when thinking about competition in this kind of multitude of different organizations now that are all pretty exciting and that are all getting some of that spotlight, are there any major names and fighters with styles that you would like to put yourself up against in
Yeah,
uh,
man. Sheesh. Is the Lima brother still the no? Who's the champion at 170 in Bellator?
that would
Lima?
now be it's I think it's now I forget his name. I believe he's from Ukraine, but he
Oh
recently
yeah.
yeah.
He's really cool. I mean, I forget his name, and no disrespect to him. I just forget his name, but I've seen him fight. He's a beast. I like to fight. So what's the plan with like my car? 1 second. I'm gonna interview. So, um, he sorry, one blank. Oh yeah, then PFL. What's his name? Ray Cooper. I like the
Yeah.
way he fights, man. That's a good fighter. He's tough. He throws down. He's Hawaiian, like just like a great warrior. And I'm pretty sure he's a solid dude. So that'd be really cool, actually. Maybe like Ray Cooper. If I think about anybody outside, the UFC and stuff like that, even the guy from Bellator. I mean, I know he's a solid fighter. I just can't remember his name, but I would love to challenge myself against somebody like that too. But Ray Cooper, I just love that he comes to fight. He can wrestle, but he throws bombs, man. And I love those guys, man. It's like you either go in your, come back with your shield, or you go out on it. But I love it. And those are the people I want to fight, people who come to bring it to fight. And each organization has tough fighters. I know Ben and Page would be a cool fight. Learn how to really fight that style. Goodness gracious, man. There's so many guys on 70. I'm just trying to think about who.
So you've got Rory McDonald still.
That's my bro, though. Rory
It's
McDonald?
that's
Why would I have to fight my guy?
this is this is true. This is true.
That's my
I'm just
guy.
thinking about
Man, I guess if you're in the PFL and you have to fight each other in the tournament, but man, that's my dude. So I would hopefully not would fight. And Roy has been, if you don't know him, he's a very solid guy, man. Cool Christian guy, but just cares about people and just great advice. So peaceful. It's so funny too. Roy's so peaceful, but he's such a killer. It's just it's what I love about him. So hopefully we never have to fight each other. If that was the case of it, I'd be like, oh man, I feel bad. But it's just like he's such a good guy. But yeah, man, Ray Cooper, I like the way he fights, and he just comes to he's a fighter. He comes to bring it. We're about the same age, so it wouldn't be like a huge age discrepancy. Like we're both young, active, and he wants to throw down, right? And he's a champion, so that'd be my focus, especially God willing to sign with the PFL this next season and just get after it. So yeah, Ray Cooper, man, he's one of the, I guess, excites me the most just because I know he comes to bring it.
oh, that would be a
All respect
fantastic matchup.
for sure, man. All respect, but just like I love the way he fights, man. Who did he fight? The guy who beat him once, and then he came and just blew his chin off the planet. Like it was crazy. So I
Oh,
was like,
he's
I
on
like this guy.
an absolute tear.
He is, man. He is. So I'd be honored. I'd be honored if he'd be down.
Cool. Well, I imagine most of these guys, if not all of them, would be excited to welcome you into the octagon, and
Hey,
hopefully we get to see a variety of these matchups because they're all extremely exciting, and your style matched against uh, the high profile fighters in each of these major organizations would make for some great fight entertainment. So hopefully we get to see multiple fights in the future with some of the names that you've mentioned. And
honored,
again,
man.
in the UFC, that'll be another exciting time when
For
we
sure, yeah,
get
man.
to
When
see
back
you.
in the UFC, we'll see who's there, and then some of the guys who are growing up in it now, man. I just pray they keep getting better, and we'll fight at our best later down the road. So I'm looking forward to it.
For sure. So, Impa, a couple of non-fight related questions to kind of wrap
Okay.
this up. I've been wondering, and hopefully you can kind of provide some of the backstory. Could you tell me, 'cause I don't want to butcher it, the pronunciation of your nickname and
Okay, yeah.
and
Chi
kind of its
Lobo.
origin?
Uh-huh.
Shilobo?
Yep. There you go. Sound Congolese when you say, yeah, Chi Lobo, man. Yeah. Like Tai Chi and Lobo, but Chi
Okay.
Lobo. Yeah, man. So my
Shilobo.
dad gave it to me. My dad, parents from Congo in Central Africa. It means mighty warrior under God, like the top warrior. And because of my dad's original language, which is Chiluba, and he's just the man. Both my parents are wonderful. My mom, she's so caring and loving. My mom's dynamite. She don't play around. You think I'm a fighter because my dad, but it's for my mom, man. She don't play around. So I love her and love my dad. They're great parents, and they just blessed me with that name. So before my first amateur fight, I was like, oh man, I guess I need a name. They're asking me what my name is, and I was like, I don't know. I mean, I don't have a fight name. Like, well, did anybody give you a name? I'm like, I just started, but okay. Came downstairs talking to my dad about it. He's like, I got this, and he's all excited, man. It was like holiday season too, about this time, because I made my amateur debut in January, so almost 4 years ago now. So like, it was just like he was like, I got this. I got the name. I got the name. So and he named me Chilobo, which meant mighty warrior. And it's something I hope to embody. Oh, sorry, did I lose you there?
Oh, it's okay.
Back.
You're
Sorry,
back.
I'm back. And yeah, so it just means mighty warrior under God, like the mightiest warrior, the king, the head of the warriors. And it just, yeah, I always want to say give God glory because I want to give my faith, just put that on the platform, and then also put my culture, like the warrior culture that I come from. And I just want to represent the best that I possibly can.
I love it. I love it. That's so cool.
So,
Chilobo.
yes, sir. There you go.
Awesome. Okay. So, Impa, we've touched on this a little bit, but when you're not fighting or inside of a fight camp, how do you use your time? What do you like to do in your free time? I know you've talked about kind of the high adrenaline junkie sports,
Oh, I love
and
that. I love those, man. For me, I kind of was kind of always looking for like that next like crazy thing to do. I'd like to get into squirrel suit flying. Is something I've been looking up right now. I've done skydiving once, surfed a couple times now, but I actually really like some calm things too. I love to read. I got a bunch of books on my desk over here. So my desk is all messy, but here's some books, right? I'm always journaling, always writing. I love the beach. Probably should go there at night and just chill by the beach for a little bit. Bring my dinner out there. Um, love nature, so I go on different trails. I was in the Everglades a few months ago. That was cool. I've been there twice now. I like to go to Naples, Florida, which is the West Coast, and just chill by the pier. It's so peaceful, man. That Gulf Coast water is like glass out there. I just love being with my family too. My people I love, my girl, my family, just like everybody. It's just like that's good for me. So it's very chill. So I'm not really in the middle kind of guy. It's like either very chill or just going all out. And I really like, man, I like cooking. I like to cook. I do like to cook now. So it's just I do like to eat out too. So I'm a foodie for sure. But I definitely like to cook when I have time.
shout out to Sprouts grocery store.
At the Sprouts, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, all of them. Harris Teeter in North Carolina. You'll find Harris Teeter when you get over there. Oh man. And shout out to all the local farmers in America. You can
There we
go actually
go.
go to like you can hit up a local farm and ask for some chickens. You can ask for eggs and they'll either butcher it for you, they'll give you give it to you to buy some maybe some produce. You'll see that in Nashville, right? But you'll see some stuff like you can purchase some eggs, man, nothing like some real farm eggs. Uh you can have a cow butcher to like, going on with your friends and support your local farmers, man. Support them out there. They're hurting. So, yeah, that's the best. That's probably the best option right there, which I should get into doing.
Yeah, what a guy. Impa, you are giving everybody shouts out tonight.
Shout out to you all.
You better be careful, man. You're going to have like 15, 20 new sponsors by the end of next week.
Hey, I received that. Come on now. Give me all the sponsors. I'll take them all. I'll shout you out. Let's go.
Exactly. Well, cool.
Yeah.
So Impa, before we really wrap this thing up, would you like to give any kind of message to the audience and your followers out there? Or is there any any additional shout outs or, best ways that people can kind of follow you on your journey as it continues?
Yeah, for sure. So thanks for having me on, first of all. Right. Just shout out to you and MMA Island, man. Follow them first, right? Having all those interviews. I love your content too. I always follow your pages, so it's pretty cool. I see like you have like Ian Heinisch and one of my teammates, Dustin, on like I guess like is one of like the fighters represent y'all. So I'm like, okay, cool. I like to see MMA Island every once in a while. They're always popping up. So cool to see y'all growing. So follow MMA Island for sure. Yeah, man. The message I'll leave you with is this is like whether you believe in God or not, or whether you have a different plan for your life. I would say God, but you just understand too, life always works out. And you can't sit there like and just kind of waddle in the mess or just kind of and stay there sad. It's not going to serve you any purpose, man. Like you're missing out on so many blessings. You guys and girls out there, like you're missing out on so many blessings when you realize you're just kind of sitting in the mess of like what happened, right? We were talking about Epictetus earlier, right? He says, how long are you going to wait before you demand the best of yourself, right? Because there's always a place where we have to take responsibility too. So like me losing those fights in the UFC and not being in the UFC, it's also my responsibility. But also I have the responsibility to be great and move forward too and create a great story because that's in my hand. That pen is in my hand. And I believe God gives me authority to do that. So I'm Christian, yes, and I'm faith-based, but I don't put anybody down for their beliefs or their orientations or whatever. I just want to say you're unconditionally loved, right? No matter what, God loves you. Then just live your life. Like you're gonna have tough moments. Like for me, it's like people are like, oh, you have a good attitude, but for sure, I've had days too where I'm just like in that dark spot, in that place where I'm just like, okay, cool, but I'll get out of nature. And they say sometimes the best way to reset is get out of nature. And after my last fight that I lost, I just took some time to heal. Was out in nature in Spokane, Washington. Saw some beautiful gardens, man, with my best friend. Like it was wonderful. So I'm saying it's okay to go through some stuff, but just don't sit in there, right? Don't sit in there and just like, don't look back on it like it was terrible that you went through it. Like it's going to make you better and find ways to refine yourself, challenge yourself, demand the best for yourself. Don't take a challenge where you failed and then look back on it and say, oh man, why me? Just say, don't even say why me or no, why not me? Just look at it and say, okay, what's next, right? And I'm so grateful, man. There's a Bible verse I love. It says, thank God I was afflicted because it built perseverance and endurance. And that's how I look at it. I'm grateful. I'm getting back into training and it's like, oh man, I'm eager and excited to learn and the challenges there. Let that fire fuel you. Sometimes people say, yeah, let your haters be motivators, all that stuff, but also just let those times where you failed be like chips in the fire. And then one day you're gonna show your best self. But just keep loving people unconditionally and just realize that because you went through something in a certain challenge, it doesn't mean your story is over. You still have the pen. So keep writing and keep looking forward because what's next is the best thing that's going to come. And everything you've been praying for sometimes or wishing or hoping for is actually coming. But I think we don't always take into account of the challenging moments in between. But because the way you wish for something, that's what brought the challenges. But it doesn't mean your wish isn't valid. So just enjoy life, man. And if you're a fighter, just keep fighting out there. For all the fighters who may have been released from an organization or people who lost their job or lost somebody they care about or tough relationship, trust me, there's something better out there for you. And you might return to the same place, right? I mean, maybe go back to UFC, maybe not, but there's God's will. And like, just, shout out to so many people, Dishless by Dara, awesome meal prep company who, helps a lot of people who have helped me a lot in my camps, right? Great advice. She's awesome. But also people who are, whether they've had cancer, whether they've had, different just sicknesses or some type of things, like just like was cooking food for some people's house who just burnt down, like, doing some good things to the community in Charlotte and growing. And shout out to Live Fit United. That's my man right there, Jonathan Logan and the crew. Luray Athletic Club, all those people, shout out to Sanford, all my coaches, working on things right now behind the scenes, and y'all will see them soon, that first round. just shout out all my friends, man. I'm just grateful. So also Cowboy, man, if you're out there, I'm not calling you out for a fight. I'm proud of you and what you've been doing. All I'm asking is let your Congolese cowboy brother get out there and just learn something on the ranch. And just God bless you on happy holidays. I'm just excited. If you know somebody this holiday season you haven't talked to in a while, you should. Just tell them you love them, say you're sorry if you need to say you're sorry, and just enjoy life. Get out there and read. If you're a kid, get out there and read. I'm telling you, learn so much. Some books I like are, Ryan Holiday, one of my favorite authors. He wrote Courage is Calling. Robin Sharma wrote The 5 a.m. Club and The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Some really, really powerful, impactful books. Get in the Word. And I'm just going on a rant right now. But yeah, just challenge yourself to read and learn. So I probably extended my time here. I'm just having a good day. So yeah.
Yes, let it flow.
Let it flow. Let it flow. Do you train over there at BMT with Dwayne Lowe?
I have in the past, but this is actually my brother lives out in Denver, and so he's been training with Dwayne and those guys for the last 8 years or so. And so it's something that I would really like to dabble with. I started to go down that path here locally in Omaha a bit. I was taking some jiu-jitsu classes.
Get after it.
And then the pandemic happened, and so that was delayed a little bit. But perhaps at some point you and I can connect, and maybe you can recommend a good gym out there in Asheville.
Man, I highly recommend the gym that I came from. It's worth the drive. It's called Jimmo. It's in Gastonia, North Carolina. Hit up all those guys. You got amazing fighters fighting out there. Guys who are young up-and-comers you don't even know about yet. Bare-knuckle people. Like, they're doing some things. They have a huge kids program. I mean, I haven't been there pretty much since I left because I've been down here at Sanford and haven't really talked to too many people. But I'll definitely tell you this: Jimmo is an amazing gym, coach, team. You'll learn quality. You'll have quality training there, and it's there are people who are there for each other. So whether you just started like when I was there, or you're a seasoned vet, like the people who come through there and they'll still go there, you'll get some training in. And it's not that bad drive from Asheville, man. I used to drive from Lenore Rhine, which is not that far from Asheville, if I'm not mistaken, near the mountains. But you take your drive down there, man, and just go train with them. Interview people. Keep building your portfolio or something like that. They are awesome, but you'll get some great training. Matt Norman, all the people. So that's a great place to go. And I'm pretty sure you can find some great jiu-jitsu near Asheville. Asheville's an interesting place. And I guess you always find good gyms in interesting places.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Heck yeah, man. But if you ever want to train too, man, hit me up. We'll get together for sure.
Oh, I would absolutely love to take you up on that offer.
For sure, my man.
For sure. Cool. Once I get down there, we'll reconnect. And Impa, in the meantime, thank you so much for your time and the interview and that incredible message at the end. You have filled up my cup and then some. I think I've got a year's plus supply of motivation to lean on now. And so
there we go.
Everything you had to say was so beautifully put. And you're right. I think there's a lot to kind of think on there. And Impa, once again, thank you so much for your time. We here at MMA Island wish you the best of luck and an amazing rest of your journey in mixed martial arts. And I hope you and the rest of your team and all of your loved ones have a great remainder of the year and holiday season.
Thank you. Receive that. Same for you, man. God bless.
Cool. Thank you so much, Impa. We'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.